Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Aisha Nazir. The topic of today's lecture is data members and member functions in a class. So what are the data members and member functions in class? Let's see. Data members and member functions are the new names, terms for the members of a class. Data members are the variables that we declare under access specifier, while member functions are the functions that are used in the class. The variables which are declared in any class by using any fundamental data types like integer, char, float, or derived data types like classes, structure, pointer, etc. These are known as data members. In short, all the variables that we declare inside the definition of a class is known as data members, while the functions which are declared either in private section or public section are known as member functions. So what does mean private section or public section? Let's see it with code. So here is the code block editor. First we will declare a class. For example, the class name is student and the curly braces. Okay, so here we basically define two access specifiers, the private and public. So first we define private and then we define public. By default, if we never define any variable under the public access specifier, then it would be by default private. The term private basically we use specify that these variables can only be used inside the class. The functions declared in the class can only access these private members. These private members are not allowed to use outside the class. So let's define two variables. For example, int student ID and then string student name. These both variables are the private members. Let's comment these as these are private attributes, right? Now we can define function inside the under your private access specifier. For example, void my function it's a function, and here you will write the body of the function. So basically, what are the functions? A function is a block of code which only run when it is called. You can pass data known as parameter into a function, but we haven't defined any parameter in this function. Usually parameters are defined inside the brackets. So functions are basically used to perform certain actions, and they are important for reusing the code. Define the code once and we can use it again and again many times. Let's see what these terms means. My function, this is basically the name of the function, while the void means that the function will never return a value. You will return more about return values later in the next chapter, inshallah. So we will see all these return types in detail. But now void means you just have to know that the void means that it never returns any value. Inside the function, here is the body. This is the body of the function. In body, we add code that defines what the function will do, what the functionality this function will perform. So this is basically the function declaration. So what comes under the function declaration? Your function name, right, and the parenthesis. And if your function returns, for example, it returns integer, then you will write, instead of void, you will write int, because it returns an int value. For example, if we write inside the body a plus b, this means that it will return some integer value. So we have to define integer as a return type in the function declaration. For now, we will just simply say that its data type will be void, that it never returns any value because we haven't defined any functionality inside the function in the body. So this is the private function, right? So these are the private variables. This is the private function. So these all are your private members and private function. C++ provide us some predefined functions such as the main, which is the built-in function which is used basically to execute the code. But you can also create your own functions as we created this one. So if we want to define our variables that are easily accessible not only in the class but also out the class, then we have to use the public access specifier. So let's define, for example, we define an int count. This is a member variable that is public, and we define a function, for example, int results, and then braces and then curly brackets. So this is a public function. So these variables and function can access not only in the class but can also out of the class, anywhere in the class, right? So these are your private members and these are your public members. The main difference between private and public is that private members can only be accessible inside the class, but we are unable to access them outside the class, while the public members can access anywhere in the class. So member functions. A member function of a class is a function that has its definition or its prototype within the class definition like any other variable. So the member function has the same definition as we define the variables. It operates on any object of the class of which it is a member and has access to all the members of a class for that object. As we have discussed earlier, that we have to create the object to access the variables of that class and to perform the functions that we define in the class. So we have to create the object first, and then we will be able to access the member functions and member variables. So accessing data members, how we will access a data member? The public data members are accessed in the same way as we have discussed earlier through the object. However, the private data members are not allowed to be accessed directly by the object. So how we will access the private data members? Data member depends solely on the access control of that data member. There are basically three access modifiers like the public, private, and protected. We have discussed the public and private. So let's see the types of data members. Basically, there are two types of data members and member functions. The one is the private members that are defined under the private access specifiers, and the public members that are defined inside the public access specifiers. So the private members, which are declared in private section of the class, are known as the private members. Private members can also be accessible within the same class in which they are declared, but we cannot access them outside the class. While the public members, which are declared in public section of the class, are known as the public members, and they can access within the class and outside of the class by simply using the object name of the class in which they are declared. By default, all members of a class are private if you don't specify an access specifier, right? If we never define the public access specifier or private access specifier, then all the variables or functions which we declared inside the class would be the private. So this is a simple example of we define my class and X and Y. We haven't defined any access specifier. So by default, these would be your private attributes. So let's see the class structure. This is the class structure. You can see that here is the class, and in the class here are some private members and a few public members. As you can see that the private members, in the private members there are data, that are your variables and the functions, right? These private members cannot be used from outside the class, right? While these in the public members, these data and functions can use from outside the class. Let's have a quick recap of private and public members. Here is the class test, and in the private section we define 3 variables with integer data type, float and char, and we define a function with name get a, and this is the body of the function where we just define a is equal to 10, but we are never returning any value. So the data type, return type would be void. While in the public section we define a variable count and a function void get b. Here is the body of the function. So the a, b and name, these are the private data members, and count, it's a public data member. While get a is a private function, while get b is the public function. Hopefully you got the point. So far we have created the private functions and private data members and public functions and public data members. Now see how to access these data members and functions. First we will see the public data members. So member functions are methods or functions that are defined inside of object. So every declaration we define are basically associated with the object, generally used to manipulate data members and other objects. Accessing data member, so there are 3 different access specifiers. So accessing to variables and functions under these access specifier is different. So first we will see how to access public data members, then we will see inshallah how to access private data members, and then protected data member. So let's move to the code block editor. So first we will define the class. So first of all we have to declare the class as student class, sorry, it's class and then student. Now we have to define the body. So first we have to define the access specifier. We are talking about, we will define the access specifier, that is public, and then under the sorry, there is a mistake, we haven't defined the L of public. Okay, so now we will define 2 variables. The first one is roll number and the second one is name. So we have defined 2 variables with roll number and name, and now we are, this is the part of our class. So we close the class. Now the next step is, after declaring the class definition, we have to create the object of that class. So let's create the object. We have to define the class name and then the object name, that's suppose A. So it's simple. We have created the first object. We can create as many objects as we want. Suppose we can create another object in the same way like student class name and with B. This is another student. So the first student, first object is A, and the second student and second object is B. So the next step is to initialize these variables. So keep in mind that this is an object. Every object has its own copy of variables and functions that we declare in the public or private access specifiers. So here is one copy of roll number and name in object A, and another copy of roll number and name is under B, right? So first we will initialize with roll number and name with the object with the first student name A. So let's initialize it. So we have to define the object name A and dot, as we have earlier discussed that we access the variables through the dot operator. So A dot roll number is equal to, for example, 10, and for example we want to name as Ali. So again A dot name is equal to, so it's a string, so we have to give it in inverted commas. So this information is given for the object A. Now we will define the information for object B as, so first we have to define the object, that is B. So B dot roll number is equal to 20, right? And sorry, I haven't defined semicolon over here and here. It will generate the error. So we define the roll number 20 and we have to define the name. So B dot name is equal to, for example, Umar. Now we have defined roll number and name for the object A and roll number and name for the object B. So the next step is that we want to print this information of both objects on the console. So sorry, first of all cout, then insertion operator, then after that what you want to print on the screen, name and roll number of object A, right? And then again insertion operator, A dot roll number, again insertion operator, A dot name. The same print statement we will use for the object B. So here we print the same statement for object B, but we have to amend the entries at B, and the second object is B dot roll number and B dot name. So let's compile it. So we compile it and here is no any mistake, as you can see that. And now we print. So here is the output, name and roll number of object A, that is 10 and Ali, name and roll number of object B, that is 20 and Umar. Have you noticed one thing, that here is a gap between 10 and Ali, and here is a gap after this statement. How this gap occur? Well, we haven't give any gap, we haven't write any statements for the gap. So how it comes? So here is the change. I just use the spaces, the empty inverted commas. Basically inverted commas are the space specifiers. It inserts the space. So we inserted the space between the print statement and the roll numbers and the name, so that it is more readable for the user. Of the code, and you see that we just simply define the class, and in the class we define two variables, and then we create two objects, and for each object we define the name and roll number, and then we simply print it. Okay, so in this way we access the public variables. What if we use the private? What will be the case with the private? Let's see. So if we define private and we just take roll number and paste it over here. Now, can we access this through the variable, through the object? Let's see. We build it, but here is the error. As you can see, the error is student roll number is private. As you can see that error. So it's a private, so we cannot access it through the object. So to access the private members, we have to use the mutators. So basically, what are the mutators? So the accessor or mutators are, if the data members is defined as private or protected, then we cannot access the data variables directly through the object. Then we will have to create special public member functions to access, use, or initialize the private and protected data members. These member functions are also called accessors and mutator methods or getter and setter functions. To access, use, and initialize the private data members, we use getter and setter functions to get and set the value of data members. The setter function will basically set the value passed as argument to the private data member, while on the other hand, the getter function will return the value of the private data members to be used. So these both getter and setter function must be defined public. So to access the private member, we have to define the getter and setter functions under the public access specifier. So first we will define the getter function. So we define the int. Int is the return type because it returns the roll number, that is a integer. So we will give the return type as it and then get roll number. So here is empty parenthesis and then starting and ending curly braces, and then we just simply return the roll number. What this function will do, it will simply returns the roll number that we will pass through another function, that is the setter function. So let's define the setter function. That would be void. It's void because it will only set the roll number value. It will never returns the value. So we will define set roll number and we will take a parameter as of int type, obviously int I, and then started and ending curly braces, and we will just simply whatever the value we pass to I, this will assign to the roll number. So roll number, that is a private member, is equal to I. So what happened in this block is simply we pass the value. So what is happening in this part, it is simply taking the value of roll number as in the parameter as argument and sets to into the private variable. So now what is the next? So the next step is we simply create the object of a student A, and then we pass set the value, and we will use the object A dot and set roll number. We call that method a function of set roll number and pass the argument the value of roll number, for example 10, right? So this statement will simply call the set roll number function and it sets the value 10. Here is the parameter that receives the argument 10 and sets it to the private variable, that is roll number. So now let's print it. Simple cout and then insertion operator, and then how we will print it? Simply by using the object a dot get roll number, our other function. So it will simply returns the value of the private member. So let's compile it. So we compiled, as you can see that the error is removed. Now let's play, and here is the private member, that is the 10. So in this way we access the private member functions, private. So you can see the result is 10. So in this way we access the private members of a class. So let's sum up key points of private members. So the class members declared as private can be accessed only by the function inside the class. They are not allowed to be accessed directly by any object or functions outside of the class. Only the member functions like get and set functions or the friend functions are allowed to access the private data members of a class. Now we have learned about the get and set method. In the coming videos, inshallah, we will learn about the friend functions. An important point is that it is possible to access private members of a class using a public method like the get and set method that we must have to declare inside the public functions, inside the public access specifier, inside the same class. Here is a tip for using the private members is that it is considered good practice to declare your class attribute as private, right? Why? Just because this will reduce the possibility of or others to mess up the code. This is also the main ingredient of the encapsulation concept. So the third access specifier is protected. So how we will access the protected data members? Basically, the protected member variables or function is very similar to a private member, but it provided one additional benefit that they can be accessed in child classes, which are called derived classes in the inheritance. So protected data members can be accessed directly using the dot operator inside the subclass, which is a derived class of the base means current class. So protected data members can be accessed in the same way as public data members from the friend functions or the classes and from derived classes. So we will see the protected data members in detail in the chapter of inheritance. So next is defining member functions. So there are basically two different ways to define the member functions. The one is the inside the class definition and the other is the outside the class definition. In the next lecture, we will briefly discuss how to declare member function inside the class definition and how we will access it and how we will define the outside the class definition functions and how we will access it. Thank you very much.